Sandbox. My name is Zero Jake and welcome back to Space Engineers. So what we are doing right now is we're constructing a dropship, a passenger shuttle, whatever you want to call it. It essentially transfers crew from one area to another, whether that be from ship to ship or ship to planet, or planet to ship, whatever takes your fancy. This design currently, I'm having a hard time actually make it look nice. But anyway, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing some like armor sloping so we can make this thing look a bit better, because I tried using atmospheric thrusters and hydrogen thrusters. Whatever combination I came up with didn't seem to work, but that's kind of the curse that I have with building ships in the first place. But anyway, what we're going to do today is we're going to start building the kind of the shell of the hull that we're going to have. You know, keeping with inspiration. Well, not inspiration, but trying to keep it adaptable so that we can change it if we so desire. Actually, no, not if, when we so desire. So what we're going to do is we are going to start on one side of the ship, and then I will copy what we have done onto the other later. This saves me from having to do double the amount of work, as I am sure you will be delighted to know. I am, you know, it's easier if you only have to cut once, which is essentially what's happening here. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a kind of slant going inwards here. This is to make it look like this thing isn't just a complete flat surface. And then we could probably just finish off using a regular armor block layering over here. That shouldn't be too hard, and we can do some kind of armor slopes at the end. Just let me create a hollow shell of what that's going to look like. Add some armor slopes, and that should look fine. Noting that this armor plating, you know, texture, I'm not a fan. I much prefer the older version, but that's my opinion. Other people may prefer it better, or there may be different blocks that I can use, but I'm going to try and find a texture replacer or something, because currently it is getting on my nerves. Anyway, so ignore this. We'll tidy up things later. I just want the kind of the idea of how this thing is going to look. So if we go over to our lovely armor slopes emporium, we should have small ship versions of the things that we want, for which we're actually going to need to go into here and find one that we need. So what I want is something that starts like this. Yeah, actually no, we don't need that. No, we don't, do we? Jake has no idea what he's talking about. Anyway, so what we can do is we can go over to here and we can use one of these to kind of do this. However, it seems a bit, you know, kind of forced, I guess. So instead, what I'm going to try and look for is one that's basically that and then extends outwards. I think I may already have one, in fact. That may be highly hilarious if I do. I don't. No, I don't. Okay, well that was kind of a waste. Yeah. There are sometimes these things I really want versions of. Okay, here's an idea for a mod that might never actually exist. You kind of, it's kind of like a adaptable block. So you just say where you want corner 1 to be, where you want corner 2 to be, where you want corner 3, so on, so on, so on, and then it will create that voxel. That kind of thing. Noting, in Dual Universe, you know, the game coming out in 2 years, that actually happens. Well, somewhere it does happen, but it's much better than placing individual blocks. Instead, your ship is just entirely one voxel. Well, not one voxel. It has many voxels, but it's like one mesh, instead of having, you know, multiple meshes placed together. Anyway, since we're still in the realm of space engineers, we'll just add these guys along here. Get things working. Oh, you didn't, did you? I just need to make sure. Just need to make sure that the rotation thing hasn't... Okay, good. Placey, 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 place. Flippity flip. Along here. And then what we can do is we can have one of you, which I need to actually make go to the right position, and then you can start acting normally. You can have a friend here, and then we can have more of these guys go along. Just need to wait for that to happen. Meanwhile, over into Insanity Corner, we have this. We can just have regular. Do we want regular? Or do we want extreme? That's the big question, really. Okay, so here's what I want. I want, yeah, a mesh that goes from here to... Okay, so basically, if I get rid of this and this, what I want is a mesh that combines this edge with that edge. Now, it does sound impossible, but it should be possible to build one. I'm just not very good at modding, and therefore I'm going to be hopeless at it. Noting that I've also got more ramp... no, not those. Armor blocks. So this is all of the ramps available in the game. I'm probably not going to find what I need by searching everything. Let's try. So we know what this is. We know what this is. This one, this one, this one, this one. Right. Let's do a trial, shall we? No, those that one and its counterparts aren't going to work. That's armor ramp corner split, armor ramp corner mirror, double, half split, 2x2x1, mirror 2x2x1. That's close to what we need. So if we have a look. You going to... no, because there's a mirrored version, isn't there? Yes, there is. Surely it isn't that hard to find something that matches what I want. I guess it is. Anyway, and I may be like overlooking a really, really easy way of doing this. By accident. Pure accident, just informing you. Anyway, since we can't do that, then I'm going to have to deal with it. And by deal with it, I mean break what I've currently got. And just, you know, have regular slopes. I could probably change into longer ones, maybe. Though if I could, then I would have solved that problem. And never mind, I'm rambling. Ramble. So let's just fill this gap in because we have nothing better to do. Right, so if we have a look, that's kind of nice, right? I mean, the front bit we could improve. Basically by well, there are ways that we can improve the front bit. It's essentially moving the entire ship forward whilst we don't move these. What we do is we basically cut off 2 chairs length and cut off the entire bridge, move it forward by 2 chairs length, insert the 2 chairs here, and then everything should be nice. And so this will be further down this way over to this side instead. But yeah. So now that we've got that, then what I want is... What do I want? What is it that I want? I don't know. Christmas again? No, that's expensive. Christmas is too expensive these days. Right. Let's flip this guy over, go like this. We continue like this. Right, so if we have... Okay, right, here's his fun cornering stuff. So we have this guy, and then we place him here, and then we have this, and then this. And then everyone goes, oh my god, you're a genius. And I'm like, I know I am. Except that this isn't right, because I need to place one final piece of the puzzle. Placey place, and then everyone goes, oh my god, it's amazing, a corner that works properly. Yeah, and then we can place you guy here, and then we can do some sort of fun times with this guy. No, this here, continue, and then everyone's fine. Everyone is completely fine. Nothing bad happened whatsoever. Good. And we continue the tradition, as you can see. Okay, good. Pretend that this is also on the bottom. Well, it won't be on the bottom. The bottom will be different because it's going to have engines poking out of it, because we need main engines for atmospheric flight that are facing downwards because we don't have lift. I have no energy. Ooh, this is bad. I'm going to die. How quickly will I die, actually? Because it should say my life support systems will fail completely. Right. Let's run through. Okay, so apparently when your energy goes to 0, you can still use a jetpack, and you don't lose any oxygen. Right, so all it makes you do is like lose the ability to use tools and lights and things like that. Wow, I thought it was much more severe than that. Anyway. Back into the wild green yonder. Yonder? What? Yonder. That's the correct word. Anyway. Back over to the shuttle. Notice the shuttle is really, really small. But that's because we're using small blocks. Right, let's have a look. So now that we've got this, yeah. Now that we've got this, it's going to look absolutely ridiculous. But, yeah. I don't like this. Don't like it whatsoever. Not this. This section here, I don't like. So let's get rid of it. As is the technique that I use of just randomly grinding bits to pieces so that I can use it properly. And then what we want is we want to kind of go inwards a bit before we start doing our main section there. Yeah. I want to go inwards a bit before we do the main engine section. So if we get rid of you as well. Oh, I accidentally destroyed some of you. Here you go, have some more. Right. Noting that this is not all I'm doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do engine nacelles after this. You can quote me on that, if you so desire. If I don't do it, then feel free to get a refund. Though I don't know how you would do that since this is free content. Well, I say free content, advertised content, but so what? Okay, now that we've done that, and now that I've satiated my lust for destroying things, have you done the? Yeah, you've done the thing. Well, that's fine, I guess. I guess it's fine. It's not, because I will start to slowly but surely remove people's minds from their bodies soon enough. I don't even know what button I press then. Rotate the thing. Rotation is basically random luck to get what you want. It's a fact of life. Anyway, so now that we've got this, just need to add some. Must always add these guys because for some reason I'm attached to them. I placed one here. Okay, now that we're here, now that this bit is going to be sealed off, so that I don't have to accidentally kill people with it. Good. Now we can build some engines. Let's go over to number 7, and what we can do is we can have some hydrogen thrusters. Not these tiny, puny, tiny ones. What we want is these big ones, these big rocket engines. So we can place some here, I guess, and those might work. And what these will basically do is, like, maintain the thing, help it stay alive, do all sorts of other things. You get the gist of it. You apparently have not done the thing that I requested, did you? I wanted this thing to look nice, but I'll do that later. I can make the top look nice later when I've got English language skills for some reason. Add thing here, place thing here. That's not going to place. Why aren't you going to place? Oh yeah, because you require a block here. Oops. So if we place this guy here, then what we can do is we can do some fancy armoring to make this thing look nice. Though really, It's going to be inside, in line with everything. That's not what I want. I'm still not decided on how the engines work. I thought I would be, but I'm not. Another fact of life, I am never decided on how engines are supposed to look. I mean, you know, these look weird, those look weird, these look weird. Yee. I've never done engines properly. I can do, like, basic interior, but that's about it. Right, I'll be back in a second, once I've tried out a few more designs, and decided which one I actually prefer. Okay, we are back. So, after, you know, contemplating on how the hell should I do this, instead I've decided why not just get rid of the airlock completely. Now, because I want to measure twice and cut once, I have not removed the port cockpit, the left-hand cockpit, but I have, cockpit? No, airlock. But I have removed the right-hand side. This is so that I can, you know, compare designs and things like that, and then I'll choose which one I would prefer and replace the other. Anyway, so my idea is to have kind of a rotor tilted engines. However, because I know that, well, I know because for some reason I just do, that Space Engineers does not work well when you have rotors and pistons moving at 500 meters per second. I am instead going to opt for those which don't actually do that, if you get my meaning. Now, we can have proper, you know, tilt engine craft, but this is not going to be one of them. It's going to emulate what that does. So what we need is a kind of design like this, which is going to be essentially where the base of the rotor would be, so we actually need to get a rotor. I will create a variant that does use the rotor, trust me. I think I know what I'm doing anyway. So what do we want? We want regular rotor, or do we want advanced rotor? Let's see how big this rotor is. So that rotor is like this. That's fine. Basically what it does is it tilts the thing. There's also some computer scripts that you can use to do things automatically, but I'll check them later. So essentially what we want is the rotor will be in that position over there, doing its fine business of not blowing up. The next thing I want is I would like some form of slope, so that we can get, you know, some depth in, well, it's not depth, it's more of something else, like smoothness, atmosphericness, you know, words that don't actually mean anything in space. Armor, no, of course they don't use the, you know, the proper spelling of armor, they have the American one. Let's go over to task group 4, no, go to task group 1. Oh, we have this. We have these. Now, do you have a corner variant? Because that would be very nice. Very, very nice indeed if you have a corner variant. It doesn't seem you do. Right. Right then. Do you have one? I'm just going to have a look at all of them, just to see if they've got a corner variant of the thing I need, which they don't. That's a shame. Because basically what I want is I want the tip of these guys onto here and onto there, and then it should automatically seal up that way, but it doesn't. So instead we're going to have to go for the regular view of everything, which is fine, I guess. I'm just going to need to get rid of these guys. Place. And what we want is, actually no, we want to place these guys, and then what we want, I've just noticed that this craft, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oh boy, oh that's going to annoy me, that's going to annoy me a lot. Yeah, there is no middle block for height, which is going to kill me. Later, not now. You know, later in design it's going to kill me. Alright, so if we do this, then that should pass for what I need. Yeah, good. And then what I can do is I can go and copy what we've got over here, but have it so that it's inverted. You know, it's called style, ladies and gentlemen. Let's place one here, and then we need another one here, And then we need another one there. And then we need another one here. Okay, so you have kind of a rotor system, except that we've got connected textures. Ignore those. So now that we've got this, what we want to do is we want to add a thruster to this. Go over to control group 5. Let's look for thrusters. No, thruster. Let's have a look at what we have. So we've got these industrial hydrogen thrusters. Interesting. I want to see what these are. These are from Video Sage, so yeah. They look kind of nifty. And they look kind of cool as well. They look quite cool. So how about because I do want a tilt. I do want this dropship to be well, rotor controlled, because that would look amazing. But I don't think that's going to happen, or at least it won't happen today. Right. So what we want to do is we want to go and get. What I really want is I want a hydrogen tank here that won't look rubbish. So like a 3x3 hydrogen tank, and then have engine on top, extend a bit, engine on bottom, and then everything looks absolutely amazing. But that's not going to happen, as I've said previously. So tank, let's have a look. Custom hydrogen engine, custom hydrogen tank. I want to place this, have a look at what it stores, and see what's what. So if you want to do that anytime soon, that would be nice. Right. What do you store? Hydrogen. Hydrogen. Right. Okay then. Yeah, so basically it's a hydrogen tank, a smaller one. Oh, okay, yeah, run out of energy again. Grrr. I'll just fly using my jetpack that should require some electricity for some reason. Yeah, let me just run over here and recharge, because apparently running out of energy does not actually do you any harm. Only running out of hydrogen and running out of oxygen are problems, because run out of hydrogen, you're stuck in space. Run out of oxygen, you are going to die unless you get to a med bay, or a med bay that has oxygen connected to it. Right, making sure that we fill up on energy, because that's going to annoy me so much if that keeps happening. And we'll fly out, press T again so we don't have that weird rotation thing. Just checking that we don't have the weird rotation thing. Don't know why they added that. It is beyond me why they did. Anyway, back onto our lovely tilt rotor system. Let's add you to here. Accept the... Okay, so what do you accept? You accept large. You accept large... you accept the large input on there, which is going to be problematic, I guess. Right, let's have a look. So we want a hydrogen tank. If we do this and then we scroll, no, that's not going to change anything. So let's place it here. See how big that is. Quite big. And then what we can do is we can go over to here. We can go get our lovely. No. Go to Mark 5 and place this guy. Would that look good? No, it's going to be too fat. Too fat, get rid of it. I'm just also going to get rid of everything from my inventory that isn't required, because I have nanouts that pick stuff up for me. Okay, now that we know that we can't do that, or now that I know that I can't do that, we're going to be using ion thrusters, because everything else can just like not work. Decide to not work, and then, you know, fun times happens. Okay, so what we want, noticing that this is, you know, going to be really annoying to pull off, we could have this guy here and there, or in fact don't use those at all, use the regulars. If we get rid of this and we just get the regular level 2 ion thruster, Do you have the large variant? Yes, you do. Okay, good. And we use the regular T2 large thruster, then this will make everything seem much easier to some people. Others, not so much. So if we place these guys here, and then we go get this, except that that's the rotor. I want this guy. Place it here, and then that will look nice. And then what I do is I go over back to here, do some more jiggery pokery with the inventory, and then we can place the other one here. Now, obviously, this isn't going to look the nicest. We're going to need to place some armoring to make that happen. I need you, flip-de-flip. I also need you, rotate, something like that. If we do this, I then need a slope. Basically what I want to do is make this look nice. And then what we can do is we could probably add some regular like armor thrusters over to here so that we can have some kind of balance, except I don't have any steel tubes, which is annoying. So if we do this, I really need to have a look at how I'm actually going to deal with this, because yeah. I'll be back in a second once I do some armoring of this nacelle, and you can have a look at the end result. Okay, we are back. So, after a little bit of armoring and discovery, what I've come up with is I've got two different thruster rotor thing designs. The first one is the single one that you saw just now, except it has armor on it to make it look, you know, sleek and not rubbish. Yeah. When I use this in the final build, I will have a version that has rotors and a version that doesn't. I don't know how I'm going to do the version that doesn't have rotors. I might like move the back one onto its side, possibly, to make it look nice, but it probably won't. So the one without rotors will not look as nice as the one with, but the one with may be a lot more buggy. But that's fine, I'm kind of used to it. And also I need to find out how rotors work and get that script working, but anyway. So we've got this smaller design, and then we've got this larger design, which has double the amount of thrusting power with, you know, double the amount of space taken up. I think I prefer the rotor, the tilt design rather than the, you know, plain old engine design, basically because it's more adaptable. Yeah, leave suggestions in the comments, noting that this is still pre-recorded. You may be able to catch this, well, your comments may be seen before, you know, the end of this build, so yeah. I'm basically going to do the rest of this build and then plaster on the engines later. So after I've done the rest of the build, engines go on, we have fun. Hopefully I will have finished the rest of the dropship by the time I get back. Hopefully. I don't know how many episodes I've actually recorded, so yeah. Anyway. So yeah, lovely design. I prefer tilt rotors. I think that's how you say it properly. So that's good. Next episode, we'll be working on the rear exit, because that's going to be necessary, noting that I may be getting, well, I will be getting rid of the airlocks. So it's going to be using some airlock blocks, you know, those airtight hangar doors, airtight hangar doors wherever they are. So these guys, and they're going to be using the 45-degree ones so that we have, you know, things to do. Basically it's so that we can have a nice little thing that can open up. Instead of having more movable parts, instead we just have essentially doors. However, until then, my name has been Zero Jake. End transmission.